superior in these matches so far.
Yeah, they're a really complete team. Like you, I had my doubts too. I knew they were going to come and compete, but I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to come in and get 6 points coming into at the end of match day 2. And they did it. I was bummed to see Linda Caicedo come off the field with an injury. We're not sure exactly what it was. Looks like a hamstring injury, but I mean, it's just huge. She came off last game against Roma, and I think she didn't play over the weekend. They wanted to make sure she was ready for this game. I don't know if it was a right call to keep her on the field. If you're up 2-0 at half, I think you got to think long term and keep your players healthy.
Yeah, because we thought she wasn't going to start. But what about PSG, Darren? You say they've got all the money, they've got the best facilities, they've got a good team, but they lost on match day 1 against Wolfsburg 4-0, and now they've lost 2-1 via Real Madrid.
It's a mentality issue at this point. They have way too much talent on this team. You look at their entire roster. Kanjiga Ajibade was one of my standout players from the match. I thought she was incredible. She got the goal, and also on both sides of the ball, she was great. But you're not seeing the best out of Karchaoui. We're not seeing the best out of Olga Carmona. This team is very talented, but we don't see them live up to the name of PSG. And I wonder what's actually going to reset this. To me, this game was an opportunity to make a statement that they're here to play in this league phase, and they haven't proved it.
OK, everybody, don't go anywhere, because after this short break, we have got our Champions League post-match coverage. We've got the Wednesday wind down. Yes, even though it isn't Wednesday, we're going to be changing it up. We've got that to come. We've got interviews, and we're going to be talking all things that we saw in match day 2. A big match day 2 for some very big names. Arsenal responded against Benfica, winning 2-0. We said today, ladies, that the stakes would be high, especially for Arsenal. What were your takeaways from the game, Darren? What did you think about Arsenal up against?
I'm still disappointed. They got the win, of course. I mean, the reigning Women's Champions League champions, this is what you expect, but I'm craving more from their style of play and how they're breaking down the opponents that they're going against. But all the credit to Benfica. This is a team that defended really well on both sides of the ball. They were dynamic. They worked incredibly hard. But Arsenal, they have so much talent and depth. I mean, they have people coming up, Chloe Kelly coming off the bench and getting an assist, as she does with whoever she's with. But I expect more from this team.
I agree with you. I expect more from this team. But for Arsenal, when you're not playing at your best, your job is to get the job done and get 3 points, and they did that today.
I agree, but I think there were moments in this game that gave me the feeling that they just are not firing on all cylinders. They're not understanding where each other are going to be. They're not anticipating properly. This is just one moment, but I think it was a goal kick or a long serve out of the back from Benfica. And you have Olivia Smith backpedaling into space that Emily Fox could be coming through and heading the ball onto Olivia Smith to get her going and forward and start the attack. But you have her backpedaling. So it's where's that communication? Why? To me, that's just a very specific snapshot of the communication is off, the anticipation is off, the understanding of just overall where you're going to be, where my teammate's going to be, just seems off. But Janelle, like you said, it's great that they picked up 3 points today.
It seems like a chemistry thing.
Yeah.
Or I said even in the pre-show, I think there's a lot of ideas floating around of what this team is going to be and Renee Slegers and the tactics that they want to have. But it's those little moments that really count, that make you a pro, that you don't have to think about because you have that chemistry. Kelly's coming up behind. I need to get in for that second ball. It's just those little things that I think other teams we've seen in this tournament so far look so much better at, night and day, than what Arsenal's put out so far. So I completely agree, and I hope that we get to see them maybe just peak at the right time in this tournament. They're not starting off in what we would expect them to.
Yeah, we just seen there they lost against Lyon on match day 1, but then they followed it up with a WSL win against Brighton, and now they've got the win against Benfica. How important is that for them to now keep pushing on this momentum and maybe peaking at the right time in this tournament?
Yeah, this is huge for them. I was just thinking maybe they wanted to start the way they started last season, start off weak and then finish strong.
And it worked. It could be the exact same.
Why change that?
We have the blueprint. So.
Maybe we're panicking for them, but maybe they're not worried about that.
They're hitting copy paste.
Yeah.
Come on, see. Yeah. Arsenal put up 2 goals against Benfica, Beth Mead being the first goal scorer. Let's take a look at those highlights. The goal came in the 57th minute from Beth Mead for Arsenal.
Yeah, and this was great work by Arsenal, just continuing to stay on it. They put the ball in the final third. They had a lot of possession this game, but look at Beth Mead just fighting to put that ball in the back of the net. They originally said own goal, but then they awarded it to her.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the devastation on the defender here, thinking it was an own goal. But again, here's where Arsenal do well. It's these set pieces, and Chloe Clutch Kelly with a set piece. I mean, this is brilliant.
Wow.
Straight off the training pitch. It's a beautiful goal from Alessia Russo. This is her second straight goal in the Champions League and her 12th overall. But that's a player that you want to rely on to start firing on all cylinders in the attack. I mean, she leads this team. She was up for Ballon d'Or. Should have been higher, in my opinion, this last year. But we haven't seen enough from her. We haven't seen her get involved enough on the pitch. So there's so much to improve on from this game. I'm sure they're going to look back and see those little mistakes, those little misses in chemistry, and know that they have to get better because every other team, I think, is starting at a higher level.
Yeah. Arsenal, there was some questions about was it an own goal, their first goal, but Beth Mead did eventually get credit for it, and this is what she had to say after the game.
Knew it was going to be a tough evening, but yeah, we're happy to get them goals in the back of the net.
Finally, what was the secret for the win?
I mean, I think we were very determined to be able to get the win today. We didn't start our campaign in the Champions League as good as we wanted to, so the 3 points were important for us, and we're happy we got them today. Thank you. Thanks.
Taking a look at the standings after match day 2, Arsenal are currently sat in 9th. They've obviously got the 3 points. Benfica still on 0. We just saw in that interview with Beth Mead, though, the interviewer said to her, was this harder than you expected? But she said, no, we expected Benfica to put up a fight, especially since the form Arsenal have been in. We kind of knew Benfica weren't underestimating this Arsenal team.
Yeah, I think that was important for Arsenal to not underestimate the opponent.
Yes.
Benfica came in putting up a good fight against Juventus last week, and they held on for 60 minutes. They were compact defensively. They were doing what they had to do, so props to them for that. The very disappointing loss for them, but it's a well-deserved win for Arsenal.
It seems to be a theme, like we saw it yesterday when Barcelona were only 1-0 up, in the 50th, 60th minute, and it's those last 30 minutes what really separates the smaller teams that maybe aren't pushing for the title compared to the big Barcelona's, Arsenal's.
Yeah, when you have that much of the ball, the other team, you're going to run them down. Eventually, I think that I played on teams where you say, okay, we might not get a goal in the first 5 minutes, maybe not the first 20, maybe not even the first half, but we're going to continue to play our style of football. And that's what Arsenal did tonight. They kept most of the possession. Again, I don't think that they produced enough in the final third when they got there. But the reality is Benfica put up a great fight defensively, but you can only do so much for so long until you give up a couple goals.
I agree with you. It's really hard to defend for 90 minutes. It comes down to, we saw there Gomez was put in a difficult position defensively inside her own 6-yard box, and we know as defenders, you have to pay attention to every single detail. There's no room for error, and it affected Benfica today.
We also saw Emily Falk. She came off limping. Could be a blow for the US women's national team.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a blow for the men and the women.
Yeah.
America. Come on. It's a blow for America. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, yeah, it's a difficult angle to see what's going on. I mean, it's good to see her walking off of the pitch to know that, okay, she can at least do that sort of movement. But yeah, it's scary for her to get a knock. I mean, she's a vital player for this Arsenal side. I think she's become a staple. We said we wanted to see her get higher up the pitch. Kelly was saying that while we were watching the match. But her defensive presence, I think, is so consistent for Arsenal. And credit to Benfica. I mean, they had 9 shots, 4 on target. Van Domselaar was player of the match for Arsenal for me. She had to show up big. Benfica could have tied this up earlier on. But Emily Fox, they're going to miss her. I hope she's okay and can recover. But, I mean, Arsenal's loaded, especially in the defense. They've got a lot of players. And another American, Jenna Neiswanger, that maybe can slot in when they move some things around.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of national team camp now moving forward. I hope that she's okay and she can still go in. But that remains to be seen.
Yeah, Arsenal hoping to build off that momentum of the 3 points now going into match day 3. But after this short break, we're going to be talking Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid because we saw them play in match day 2. Welcome back, everybody. Our 12:45 match was Atletico Madrid taking on Manchester United. They're making their debut in this year's Champions League. We had a goal in the 24th minute for Manchester United.
Yeah, Manchester United making things happen. We get here, wonderful cross into the second post. And it looks like somewhat of a bad clearance by the defender. And who else but Fridolina Rolfo to crush the ball in the back of the net. Manchester United getting that goal early on in the first half.
Then game-changing moment in the 37th minute for both sides. Gio Garbellini gets on the ball, dancing, does what she does, but Janssen goes in for a tackle from behind, and it was not good. She got the yellow immediately on the field, goes over to check on Gio, but after the ref came back and checked VAR, Janssen was awarded a red card, sent off, and Manchester went down to 10 men for the rest of the game.
On the 43rd minute, Atletico Madrid had a chance immediately after off this set piece. They send this ball in, but it's PTJ coming up big, life and limb defending on the line. I don't think the ball crosses over. Some may say different, but this is a really, really great save and chaos in the 6-yard box on the line, and Manchester United end up surviving through it.
And then we get another red card in the game. Alexia Fernandez, what are you doing here? We'll see this here. Oh, such a late tackle. And for me, it was clearly a red from the beginning. 10 players on each side. Difficult for Atletico Madrid. No points and a red card for her.
Yeah, a huge win for Manchester United. They've had clean sheets in all 5 Champions League games they've played, including the qualifiers. Moving over now to PSG, Real Madrid. Real Madrid were able to get their 4th straight win against PSG.
Yeah, in the 29th minute, they did work on the left flank with Yasmin Ribeiro playing the ball in, and Naomi Feller scores near post, just sneaks in between these 2 defenders, a little touch, glances it off into the back post. I love that type of goal.
Yeah, chef's kiss. Beautiful ball by Yasmin. And then right here, another play down the left side as Feller again sends this ball in, and it's Caroline Weir who initially connects. Great little touch by Mary Earps, but it's Redondo who ends up putting this away and giving Real Madrid the lead 2-0.
3rd goal in 2 UWCL matches.
That's a little fact count. I like that.
Minute 58, PSG struggling to find an identity, but Takina Karshawi with that wonderful cross into the second post. Oh, what a ball, yeah. And then Rashid Ajibadi gets her head on that. Nothing the keeper could do there. We thought PSG was in this game, but it wasn't enough.
No, it wasn't enough. The game ended 2-1 there. Taking a look at the table now, seeing that Manchester United sat in 5th place, 6 points for their debut campaign, as well as Real Madrid in 2nd place. Huge for them. We can see Wolfsburg are 3rd and Lyon are 4th. They're going to be playing each other in match day 3. Huge games that we're going to be seeing in match day 3. That's how the table stands after match day 2. Let's talk about the two Madrid sides. Real Madrid, huge win for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, La Madrid, look at them sitting at the top of the table with Barcelona.
Yeah, it's like La Liga.
At the end of it, right? At the end of match day 2. I wasn't expecting that, but credit to them. We talked about it earlier. They are a complete team defensively. They're structured, they're organized, and then on the attack, when you have Feller, Weir, Redondo all contributing either with assists or goals, I think they're in a really good place going forward.
And PSG just struggling to find a bit of identity, Darren, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't even know what to say at this point with PSG because I'm going to sound like a broken record, but the expectation is so high for this team. The talent they have, Karchaoui finally getting an assist. Ajibade was the player to watch for me even earlier into the first half. I thought she was creating a lot of problems, causing a lot of issues for Real Madrid, but they need to have the mentality that they are winners, that they are champions, and that's not what I see. It's those small moments you touched on earlier of the communication, the getting stuck into a tackle, setting the tone of the game. They let Real Madrid do that. They let Real Madrid dictate this game when I think if you look at the history of these two sides in Champions League,
they're so passive defensively.
So passive.
Like they're just kind of just watching Madrid pass the ball around them. Nobody's stepping in hard to a tackle. And then offensively, it's like, what are they doing? We don't know. It's disappointing because we have high expectations of them. They're a top team in France, but they need to figure something out. I think internally there's something going on that maybe we don't know about, and whatever that is, if it's leadership,
a lot of their big players.
Yeah, I don't know is that affecting them? Is the leadership affecting them? Are they not buying into what the coach is selling? They just need to figure it out.
Looking at PSG's upcoming matches, I mean, they go to Manchester United and they're doing amazing at the moment. Even though it's the first time playing in the competition, they've had 2 clean sheets, 5 really, including their qualifiers. And yeah, they're doing really, really well. Bayern Munich as well, who had a good win today. Leuven, who are coming up. We didn't expect that, but they are. And then Benfica. So they haven't got the easiest schedule ahead of them.
Yeah, I think they have it tough. I mean, sitting at 0 points, it's Manchester United is coming in really good form with 6 points. PSG, you got to do something right.
Okay, everybody, let's move on now to the other game we saw, Bayern Munich taking on Juventus. We talk about how big match day 2 was. It was huge for Bayern Munich coming off that 7-1 loss against Barcelona. We're going to be taking a look at the highlights here. There was a goal in the 11th minute for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, it started here early for Bayern Munich, and I had said it's going to come from crosses and set pieces, and it's what we got to see. Here, Clara Biel just getting end lines, sending this cross in. Terrible defending by Juventus, but Pernille Harder is never going to miss from there, puts it away. I mean, she's had 42 goals and 59 UWCL appearances, so you know that she's a confident goal scorer and can lead this side.
Juventus responded quickly, though, in the 17th minute on this free kick. Schuster takes the free kick, curls it into the side netting. I mean, this is beautiful from here. I'd love to see it. They got back and equalized on this one.
Yeah, and then in stoppage time, right when I was thinking, wow, what a disappointing day from Bayern, they turned things around. Wynn crosses it into the box, and it's headed down for Schuller, and she just taps it in. There was a doubt of something going on there, but this is great from Bayern Munich. We weren't sure if they were going to be able to make things happen, but they did today. They got 3 points.
Do you want to know what I like about this game compared to last week? Is that last week when they were down multiple goals, they just kind of gave up, right? They stopped trying. And this game, they pushed and they got a winning goal in extra time. So a very different mentality than we saw last week.
Yeah, they had that huge loss against Barcelona in match day 1, 7-1, as you can see there. Good win for them today, especially coming off the Wolfsburg Bundesliga win. You can kind of think things are looking up for Bayern Munich, hopefully.
Things are looking up. This is looking
They have Arsenal.
Come on.
Yeah, they have Arsenal.
That's tough for them.
I actually think that's going to be more of a fair game. Yes, it's tough. Arsenal, the reigning champions, I'm not convinced by their performances yet. Maybe I'm being harsh on them, but you have to be. This is the team that is wearing the crown from last season. Bayern Munich, I think, have a lot to prove, especially from that last match, and I'm really looking forward to that matchup.
We're going to be listening to Cristiana Giovelli. Here's what she had to say after the game, the controversial last-minute winner for Bayern Munich.
Obviously, a disappointing result for you guys today, but how did it feel for you on the pitch? What can you take from this performance?
No, I think we have to be proud for what we have shown this evening. Of course, we are a bit sad because we got the goal at the last minute, and I'm not so sure that was goal. And it's a pity because if you play this kind of competition, I think you need some technology over the VAR. I think we need it because now the level is high, the club and the team are high, so also I think also the technology has supported.
Said she thought that wasn't a goal. They don't have the automatic goal line technology like they do in the men's game,
which is ridiculous.
Like they need to have it here, especially. Look.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. I'll disagree with her. I think this is a goal. I think this is a great effort to keep it out. But just looking at where the player's foot is, where the ball is.
So to have that technology, you actually have to have you have to have more cameras, right? And they clearly just have chosen not to have that. That's what I've been told in the past when we haven't had that at certain competitions.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
And we talk about how much the women's game has grown, and yes, it has, and it's great, and we can celebrate all of these things, but then this is a clear example of how far we still need to go for the women's game to get what it deserves. I agree with you. To me, it was clearly a goal. Obviously, if you're on the conceding end, you're always going to say, oh, controversial. I don't think that was in. But it's just, tough, sad loss for Juventus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also it was 1-1 up until the 95th minute. So for them to lose it based on a goal that maybe wasn't a goal, it's very disappointing for them.
Yeah, it's infuriating if you are Juventus, because you want to know definitively, was this a goal or was this not? And there is a way to know that. The Champions League, UEFA has just chosen to not make that available for Champions League.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but also if you're at minute 95 and you know you're tied 1-1, you've done your best. You've done your best to keep yourself in the game. Don't give up a set piece in the final third. Like, just you got to be better at those defensive details.
Now, according to Christina Unkel, our rule specialist, it's up to the home team to use goal line technology. So in this case, it would have been Bayern Munich, and it went in their favour.
Well,
which is shocking that Bayern Munich, are not using it.
So that's not mandated by UEFA. Interesting.
Okay, so Bayern Munich would have to foot the bill, I assume.
I'm saying money. Home team decides.
They've got the coin. You got the bag.
Yeah, Bayern Munich would have to.
Well,
pay
maybe
for
they
it.
knew this was what was going to happen. They said,
maybe they thought,
leave it a chance.
let's just try and get a last-minute winner and not have the technology.
This is the plan, guys.
No, but a huge win for Bayern Munich. Okay, everybody. After this short break, we're going to be talking Americans because we saw some amazing star-studded bangers and superb saves from the Americans in this match day 2. A huge match day 2 for the Americans in the Women's Champions League with Lily Johannes's I'm putting it as goal of the tournament for Lyon. She played 74th minute, got that amazing goal. Alyssa Thompson getting 56 minutes under her belt. She got the goal and assist. And then we also had Fallon Tullis-Joyce, played the whole 90 minutes, had 6 saves. Manchester United kept the clean sheet 1-0 against Atletico Madrid. They also had the 1-0 clean sheet against Valerenga. Taking a look now at her day, at the saves.
Big for Manchester United here.
Yeah, taking a look now at her season stats. In all competitions, she's appeared 12 times for Manchester United, had 7 clean sheets, 82% save percentage. She's a staple for this team, isn't she?
Yeah, this is huge for her. Coming into Champions League, 2 games, 6 points, 0 goals conceded, and for her to just remain focused the entire 90 minutes over both matches is huge because as a keeper, there's no room for error.
Yeah.
And she's nailed that.
Yeah, there were moments in that Atleti Madrid game this, I guess, morning for us, but evening for them, where they were scrambling. You know, it was on the goal line. She had multiple players around. That gets hectic, and she was able to secure the ball. There was a close range save that she made. So, again, I think she's across the board in terms of her technique as a keeper is high level.
Yeah, I completely agree.
She was the Golden Glove winner in 2024-2025. She was the Golden Glove winner, so just proving that she deserves that award completely. A little fun fact about her: she graduated from the University of Miami in marine biology.
I love
this. She obviously loves to put that into play outside of football. I think diving into the sea, doing all things marine biology.
She does everyone go check out her Instagram and her TikToks, whatever, because she does a lot of really cool content too that's really informative and it's fun. And she's also, I think from the outside seems like so kind of docile and like a quiet person, but then she has this really cool hobby and intellect and passion and just like whole personality outside of the football side, which I love that we get a peek of. And I mean, how dope.
Yeah.
So
So
diving with fish and
She's able to focus for 90 minutes because she's a genius.
there it is.
That looks like
That's the trick.
That looks like my worst nightmare. What she's just done.
No scuba diving in your future?
No. I can't think of anything worse. But
I'm with you on that.
But good for Tullis-Joyce. Good for her.
I do it.
Okay, me too.
We'll just chill on the boat and watch y'all.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I will not be diving in. Okay, everybody, it was a huge day today and yesterday for Americans. We had Alyssa Thompson, a great goal for Chelsea, and also we had Lily Johannes's great goal for for Lyon, excuse me. If we had to pick, girls, who was our favourite American on match day 2? I think Alyssa Thompson and Lily Johannes would be up there, wouldn't they?
I love this from Alyssa Thompson, and look at her reaction up there. She's just so, you feel the excitement. I mean, getting the assist and the goal, her first for Chelsea after this big move that was such a risk, is huge.
Yeah, and then obviously Lily Johannes just absolutely making a case for goal of Champions League for 2020.
I've seen that goal about 10 times now, and I still can't get over it.
Yeah, every time I see it, I'm just like, wow, how did she do that?
She just embodies swagger.
I know.
It's like no big deal. She wasn't even surprised. She's like, oh yeah, I knew I was gonna make that. She's no big deal.
I would be pulling a Brandy Chastain and running around if I scored something like that.
What do you think the XG was on that goal? Predictions, Janelle?
Oof, really, really low. I don't know. The chances of that going in, I don't know.
You don't know numbers?
No. Kelly's the numbers girl.
Stats girl.
Don't put me on the spot here. 0.1.
I think I'm
0.02.
I think I'm getting it as 0.2.
Okay, close enough.
Good job.
Not bad.
Good guess. But that was incredible. Okay, everybody, we're going to be also talking about Emily Fox. She came off for Arsenal. She was subbed off, I think, in the second half. It will be a blow for the US Women's National Team, but also a game that wasn't in the Women's Champions League yesterday. It was Washington Spirit. We saw Trinity Rodman come off. They were playing against Monterrey in the CONCACAF Women's Champions Cup. This happened in the 36th minute, the first half. A really sad moment for Trinity Rodman.
Yeah, I'd watch this and just hope that she's okay. Obviously, this is CONCACAF, sorry, forgot the name.
CONCACAF
Champions Cup. This is group play for them. This game was to go out on top of their group, and the question is, does she need to be playing?
Yeah.
That's my first thought is it worth her risking injury? And obviously you can get injured at any moment, but she looked like she was in a lot of pain. And it just is it's a very scary moment.
Yeah.
For her specifically, but also for Spirit.
Yeah, I have chills. I mean, I have a hard time watching injuries back when players get injuries from my own, but my heart goes out to her just knowing. I mean, we all know when you go through rehab after being out for so long with the back injury she had, and then you're finally feeling yourself finally getting into playing form, and then this happens. It's unfortunate, but I think from that back injury, she has that muscle of she knows what she needs to do. I'm glad that we saw her at least in lighter spirits with crutches after the game, looking more like herself. And I hope it's not as serious as it looked initially.
Yeah, it's a big loss for Spirit going into playoffs. Again, we don't know exactly what the injury is, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. But she is. Spirit has been heavily dependent on her in the final third. She's been scoring, she's been assisting, creating.
It's a different team when she's there.
Yeah, the team is so much more dangerous when she's there, when she's on the ball. Let's just hope she's okay and it's nothing major.
Yeah, we haven't had any updates from her Washington Spirit, but we're sending all our love to Trinity Rodman. Okay, everybody, after this short break, we're going to be taking a look at match day 3 of the UEFA Women's Champions League.